Many would argue that the success of a hardware console has very little to do with the hardware itself, or the ancillary attachments tacked onto the system for the sake of inflating profit margins, but instead, it's all about the games. After all, it's only fitting that the highest selling consoles, the PlayStation and the PlayStation 2, focus almost exclusively on the same two things. Games first, tech second. Push all that nonsense to the side. The Xbox One, however, has a different story. Today I want to discuss and show what the financial landscape of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 looks like, and check to see if the Xbox One still has a pulse. Microsoft's stance on gaming after releasing the very successful original Xbox is very interesting. Unlike the PlayStation 4, a system that quite honestly had a very modest showing at E3, the Xbox One seemed to want to hamstring us with restrictions from the very get-go. The policies Microsoft had initially on what you could do with used games, how the system required the Kinect add-on to be purchased in tandem, to how ignorant the company seemed to be regarding just giving us what we wanted, games. No gimmicks. Fast forward today and the sales of the Xbox One show some very telling evidence. Current estimates are showing around 28.2 million units have shipped since releasing back at the end of 2013. Not bad for a major console, however dwarfed when compared to the sales figures of the PlayStation 4. Sony has sold twice as many PlayStation 4s, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It's also interesting to look at the data broken up by region, in this case Japan, one of the leading consumer bases for video game media consumption. The Xbox One is the worst selling console ever to be released in Japan, with current sales hovering just below 70,000. Compare that to the PlayStation 2 at over 21 million, or the DS at over 32 million, and it's not even close. Now, of course, the sales performance doesn't say anything directly about the health or quality of these platforms. Each system has its pros and cons for sure, and just because Sony has outdone Microsoft 2-1 in sales, it doesn't mean it's twice the system. But it does say something about what people think of it, and in turn how many systems and games those companies ultimately sell with those platforms. The reason I made that graph is because it's indicative of the trends a lot of us feel about modern day gaming. I think we're just done with the gimmicks. And more importantly, we don't want to be forced into situations like Microsoft launching the Xbox One with add-ons like the Kinect that we couldn't get away from. Sure, VR is cool for a short amount of time, motion controls can be interesting when done well, but we want games. The Xbox One's financial performance is derived from the lack of exclusive titles. It's not because the system is slightly overshadowed by the PlayStation 4's power. It's not because the PlayStation 4 has a slightly better subscription service with PlayStation Now. It's because really, there's just a lack of magical first-party titles. Exclusive games sell consoles, especially when those consoles are nearly identical in technical capability. There's nothing drastically different from the PlayStation 4 to the Xbox One. They're capable of the same things pretty much. It's the fact that you can get more, better exclusives on the PS4 that we see them dominating Microsoft. What Microsoft exclusives make you so insanely excited that you want to rush out and buy the system? Maybe Gears of War 4, Forza, Halo, or Destiny? That's kind of it. Many of those games, especially Gears, Halo, and Forza, have been sucked dry like a vampire. Current versions limp with the stench of the same old tired formulas. Where's the new IP? Now list off the games that make people want to go out and buy a PlayStation 4. The Uncharted series, The Last Guardian, Bloodborne, The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, Neo, Persona 5, Infamous. This list is very long, and many of them being brand new IP, which is by far the most exciting, albeit risky, games to produce.
Yeah, making the new IP is, how can I put it? It's just don't do it. It's a very challenging process to create a new IP, and you're gonna fail over and over again. But that's what it takes.
The PlayStation 4's top-selling game is Uncharted 4, an exclusive that cashed in 8.7 million copies sold. Now compare that with Halo 5 Guardians at 4.6 million, and the fact that the top 3 Xbox One selling games were also available on the PlayStation 4, Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, and GTA 5, and it's pretty easy to see why more people want to go out and buy a PlayStation 4. We're going to have new consoles from Sony and Microsoft in the next 2 years, I'm sure of it. Clearly, Sony bent over Microsoft this generation because they followed the golden rule of gaming. Games come first. Just improve the tech of your system and give us fun, unique games that we can't get anywhere else. But what do you guys feel about this? Let me know in the comments section, especially you PC gamers watching from the sidelines. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, by all means hit the thumbs up button and subscribe here for more of our future content. Have yourself a kick-ass day.